Friend, come sit beside me for a moment. Let an old man catch his breath before he starts talking too much again. You know me, Paul Walker, 80 years old this year, still waking up every morning wondering how I survived the chaos of my 20s, the ego of my 30s, the confusion of my 40s, and the stubbornness of my 50s. By the time I reached 60, life finally slapped me on the back and said, "Congratulations, you've unlocked the senior difficulty level." And now, at 80? Friend, now I've unlocked the expansion pack nobody warned me about. Today, I want to tell you something important, something I learned the hard way, through heartbreak, loneliness, embarrassment, and a few too many moments where I looked in the mirror and said, "Paul, you idiot, how did you get here?" We're talking about the 7 signs a man becomes a low-value senior man, and more importantly, how to fix it before it eats your soul, your dignity, your relationships, and your joy. And I tell you this the same way I'd tell a close friend sitting next to me, like you, someone I trust, someone who still has years left to help the men around her, and someone who might just want to understand the mysterious species known as elderly males. Now let me warn you, I'm going to get emotional, I'm going to get dramatic, and I'm probably going to say things that will make you spit your tea from laughing too hard. Because if I'm going to embarrass myself with honesty, I might as well make it entertaining. So, friend, let's begin. Sign number 1, the moment a man stops taking pride in himself. Oh, this one hurts. It's like when your favorite plant starts drooping and turning yellow because you forgot to water it for 2 weeks. For a man, especially a senior man, the slow slide into low value begins the day he wakes up, looks in the mirror and says, good enough, even though he looks like he just crawled out of a laundry basket that's been sitting in the corner for 3 days. I know, because I was that laundry basket. There was a year, around age 67, when I stopped shaving as often. Not for any philosophical reason, I was just lazy. I told myself I was going for the distinguished old scholar look, but really I looked more like an escaped garden gnome. One day a neighbor kid asked me if I was homeless. That was the day I realized I had failed myself. And friend, let me tell you the truth. When a man stops caring for himself, other people stop caring too. Not because they're cruel, but because humans respond to signals. A well-kept man says, "I am alive, alert, and engaged." A man who lets himself go says, "Don't mind me, I'm fading." But how does he fix it? Not by becoming young again. Good luck with that. No cream can lift what gravity has already claimed. But by doing something far more powerful, reclaiming self-respect. A shower, a clean shirt, trimmed nails, a bit of cologne, a posture that doesn't scream, "I gave up." These simple things transform a man. It's not vanity, it's dignity. It's announcing to the world that he is still participating in life, instead of waiting for it to end. And friend, you'd be shocked how many senior men forget this. Want to know if a man is becoming low value? Look at how he presents himself. It reveals everything. Sign number 2, when a man loses his ambition. Now, don't misunderstand me. I don't mean ambition like climbing mountains or starting companies at 80. Please, I can't even climb the stairs without sounding like I'm auditioning for a dramatic death scene. I mean ambition in its simplest form. The desire to live. Some men retire, not from work, but from life. They sit, they settle, They shrink. They wait for the days to pass instead of filling them with meaning. Friend, let me confess something deeply embarrassing. At 72, I stopped dreaming. I didn't want to try anything new. I told people, I'm too old for that. I said it so often, it became my personality. If someone invited me somewhere, I'm too old. If someone suggested a hobby, no thanks, I'm too old. If a woman smiled at me, oh, especially then, no, I'm definitely too old. Low-value men live like they're already dead. High-value senior men? Oh, they stay curious, they stay hungry, they stay alive. And fixing this? It only takes one new thing. One. Learn one skill, join one group, make one new friend, start one new routine. Curiosity is like a spark. It can light up the whole room again. Sign number 3. When a man becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Oof, this one took me years to admit. You want to know the honest difference between a high-value senior man and a low-value one? One adds joy, the other adds weight. A low-value man complains constantly, demands attention, guilt-trips people for not visiting, and believes the world owes him something because he's old. A high-value senior man, he brings light, he listens, he gives wisdom, he supports, he contributes to conversations instead of draining them. At age 75, I went through a dark phase. I became grumpy, bitter, quick to anger, jealous of younger men, and overly sensitive. You couldn't even say the weather is hot today without me growling that in my time the sun was hotter and we didn't have air conditioning. Friend, I became exhausting. People stopped coming around, and I blamed them instead of looking in the mirror. But then one day my daughter said something that shook my entire soul. She said, "Dad, we love you, but being around you feels heavy." It broke me, but it also rebuilt me. Want to fix sign number 3? A man must ask himself, do people feel lighter or heavier after being around me? That answer tells the whole story. And friend, before we continue, if you enjoy sitting here with me, listening to this old fool ramble, go ahead and like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. It helps more people hear these stories. And my granddaughter says it makes the algorithm happy, whatever that means. Personally, I thought algorithm was a type of yogurt until last year. Now let's keep going, because I want to tell you the truth about sign number 4. Sign number 4, when a man stops flirting with life. Not women, life. Because flirting, real flirting, isn't about romance. It's about energy, spark, charm, warmth, interest, engagement, teasing the world a little, smiling at strangers, finding joy in tiny things, enjoying a playful moment. But when a man becomes low value, he becomes dull, dry, serious, closed, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of joy, afraid of trying. At one point, around age 78, I was sitting in a cafe. The waitress smiled at me, a kind, warm smile, not flirting, just being nice. I remember looking away quickly, embarrassed, thinking, "Don't get the wrong idea, young lady, I'm not that man anymore." And immediately I realized how sad that was. Not sad because she wasn't interested, goodness no. Sad because I had stopped interacting with life. I shut down a simple human exchange for no reason except fear of being seen. A man becomes low value when he stops connecting. And friend, you know what fixed this for me? I started greeting people again, complimenting them, laughing with them, being present. You don't need to be charming, you just need to be alive. Sign number 5, when a man lets his mind become old, even if his body already is. Now this is where many senior men lose the battle. A low-value senior man lets his mind stiffen like old bread left out on the counter. He refuses new ideas. He rejects change. He becomes easily offended. He clings to outdated beliefs because that's how it's always been. And friend, let me tell you right now, nothing makes a man age faster than a closed mind. Want an embarrassing confession? At 77, I refused to use a smartphone, not because I couldn't, but because I wanted to feel morally superior to everyone who did. You younger people and your devices, your brains are melting, you're addicted. Yet there I was, unable to check a message without calling my granddaughter like she was the tech support hotline. It wasn't about the phone, it was about me refusing to grow. The fix? A man must keep learning, keep adapting, keep listening, keep updating his worldview like a software patch. Otherwise, he becomes outdated, and outdated becomes invisible. Sign number 6, when a man stops being useful. Not physically useful. No one expects an 80-year-old to lift refrigerators or fix roofs. I mean emotionally useful, spiritually useful, socially useful, mentally useful. Humans need to feel needed, but low-value senior men stop offering value. They stop giving advice, stop helping, stop sharing experience, stop showing up. I used to be that guy. Someone needed help? Oh, I'm too old. Someone needed wisdom? I don't want to interfere. Someone needed company? I don't want to bother anyone. But the real reason? I didn't feel confident enough to offer anything. Friend, let me tell you the truth that saved my life. A man doesn't become valuable because he's strong. He becomes valuable when he shows up. And when I started showing up again, calling people, supporting them, giving advice, being present, you don't need to be charming. You just need to be alive.
Friend, let me pour us both a little tea before I continue. My throat's getting dry from all this emotional wisdom I'm throwing around like confetti at a wedding. You're still here, right? Good. That means you haven't run away from this old man's long-winded stories yet. And trust me, the most important part is coming. We left off at sign number 7, the moment a man starts living fully in the past instead of the present. And I told you, this one nearly took my spirit away. So let me tell you what happened. After my wife passed, I didn't just grieve her. I froze myself in the years she left. I played the same music she loved. I cooked the same meals she used to make. I sat in her chair. I walked the same route we used to walk. Every day felt like a museum tour through memories I refused to leave. Friends invited me out, but I kept saying no. I felt like moving forward meant betraying her memory. But the truth? Staying stuck was betraying myself. One morning, around age 76, I woke up and realized I had lived the same day for almost 4 years. Same routine, same sadness, same loneliness. I had become a ghost inside my own life. That morning, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the man staring back. He wasn't alive. He wasn't growing. He wasn't trying. He was simply remembering. And that, friend, is the final nail in the coffin of a low-value senior man. So how did I fix it? The answer is simple, but it took every ounce of courage in my old bones. I decided to live again, not for my past, not for who I used to be, but for the man I could still become. I started small. I donated half the things in my house. I changed the furniture arrangement. I learned new recipes. I walked in a new park. I took a class. I made new friends. I even joined a book club, though I mostly go for the cookies. And one day, something miraculous happened. I laughed. A real, unexpected, belly-shaking laugh I hadn't felt in years. That was the day I knew I had returned to the present. Friend, life only moves in one direction, and the man who refuses to move with it becomes low value by default. But the man who stays alive, curious, useful, connected, that man becomes someone others admire, respect, want to be around. Let me take these 7 signs and give you the real truth beneath them all. A senior man becomes low value when he stops participating in his own life. That's it. That's the secret. A man is valuable not because he's young, rich, strong, handsome, or powerful, but because he shows up with heart, intention, presence, and pride. Now let me tell you the deeper story of how these lessons shaped me. Because, friend, lessons only become wisdom when they're lived. After I began rebuilding my life, I noticed something. People treated me differently. Not because I suddenly looked younger. Trust me, nothing was going to fix this face. Gravity has been chewing on it since 1989. But because my energy changed. I greeted strangers again. I joked with cashiers. I smiled at kids. I flirted politely with life. I appreciated sunsets like they were brand new. I listened more than I talked. I challenged myself to grow. I apologized when I was wrong. I forgave myself for the years I wasted hiding inside my grief. Friend, one day I met a woman at the local senior center. She was 72, quick-witted, sharp-tongued, and kind enough to laugh at my terrible jokes. We talked, we walked, we shared stories, and for the first time in years, I felt something warm flicker inside my chest. Not the wild fireworks love of youth, but the gentle, steady warmth of companionship. And that day, I realized something powerful. A high-value senior man does not chase youth. He embraces the beauty of aging well. Let me share something else with you, just between us. Do you know what makes senior men truly attractive? Not muscles, not money, not looks, not status. It's emotional stability. It's kindness. It's confidence without arrogance. It's peace. It's presence. It's humor. It's warmth. It's wisdom offered with humility. It's the ability to make someone feel safe and understood. And do you know what makes senior men low value? Bitterness, entitlement, neglect, stagnation, closed-mindedness, excuses, self-pity disguised as realism. Now that I'm 80, I don't fear aging. I fear wasting whatever time I have left. I fear allowing bitterness to rot the good man I've spent decades trying to become. So every day, I remind myself, today I will participate. Today I will bring value. Today I will show up with heart. And friend, if you ever see a man slipping into low-value territory, remind him gently of this. His story isn't over until they lower him into the ground. And if he's still breathing, he still has time to rise. You know, talking to you like this reminds me how powerful companionship is. The younger version of me thought value came from what I could do. The older me knows it comes from how I make others feel. Let me tell you one last story to wrap this all up. Something that happened just a few months ago. I was sitting on a bench in the park, enjoying the morning breeze, when a little boy ran up chasing a ball. He stopped in front of me and said, "Old man, you look happy." I laughed and said, "Why wouldn't I be?"
He shrugged and said, "Most old people look mad." And I realized even children can tell the difference between a man who is living and a man who has given up. So I told him, "I'm happy because every day I get to wake up again." He nodded like he understood an ancient secret, grabbed his ball, and ran off. Friend, isn't that the most beautiful truth? That waking up itself is a blessing, a gift, an opportunity to be better than yesterday. So here they are, the real 7 signs a man becomes low value. He stops caring for himself. He stops dreaming. He becomes heavy to be around. He loses his spark. He lets his mind rot instead of grow. He stops being useful. He stops living in the present. And the way to fix all of them: come back to life. Try again. Laugh again. Learn again. Show up again. Connect again. Care again. Dream again. Love again. Even at 80, especially at 80, life is still waiting for you to participate. And believe me, the moment a man chooses to engage with the world again, people feel it. Friend, thank you for sitting with me through this long, wandering conversation. You always listen to me better than half the people I've known in my life. Maybe that's why I keep telling you everything like you're the keeper of my memories. Now go share this with someone who needs it. A son, a brother, a father, a husband, a friend. Someone who's slipping without realizing it. Someone who just needs to wake up again. And tell him this message came from an 80-year-old man named Paul Walker, who refuses to live half alive. Because life, friend, is still beautiful, especially when you choose to live it.